Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Dax. I am transgender, also identify as gender fluid, and this is my channel, Encrypted Angels Nursery. So welcome on in. Today I've got two little ones on my channel. So we have little Cricket here, and we're going to do a name reveal for this little one. So it's been a minute since I've done a change in chat, so this feels really good just to get back into a change in chat. But today we're going to change both of these two little ones. So this video might be a little bit longer than my average change in chat. So, but this one is super tiny, super tiny, so she won't take long to change. But let's go ahead and get into it. So what are we doing today? Today I am gonna go over some terms while we do a change in chat, and I'm gonna go over what LGBTQIA plus all stands for. It's come to my attention with a few friends that they don't all know what each of those terms mean. So I'm just gonna lay little Cricket over here against this little pillow that I have. Okay, so we're gonna concentrate on, actually, let me switch because I'm gonna do a name reveal for her later. I'm gonna change Cricket first. And before we get into these terms, I just want to mention about these two in particular. Both of these babies were done by the same artist. Her name is Marie. She can be found on reborns.com, and her nursery name is Marie's Reborn Nursery. She is retiring. She is not painting any more dolls at this time. She is selling the dolls that she has left, and that is it. So she has won awards for her dolls in the past, her paint jobs, and yeah, for her reborning artistry. So anyway, she's a very incredible lady. Alright. So let's get into the terms. LGBTQIA+, what does it all stand for? What do these terms mean? Alright, so the first letter, L, stands for lesbians. The second letter, G, is gays. B is for bisexuals. This is going a lot faster than I thought it would. T is for transgenders. That's what I mostly identify as. Q stands for queer. I is the one that a lot of people don't know, but the I stands for intersex. And the A stands for asexuals. So that is what each of them mean. So why the plus, you might be asking? Okay, so I actually tried to, well, I did look into the research of why they have added the plus in. And I personally did not find any defined answers as to what or why they added the plus in. But I can tell you why I think they added the plus in. And I'm pretty sure you guys can probably come to the same conclusion as well. Is that they wanted to make sure to, just sort of put an emphasis in there that they don't mean to exclude anyone who might identify in some kind of way under one of these terms in some way. So what does that mean? What am I trying to say? Spit it out, Dax. What I'm trying to say is there are other things like a term I said earlier, which is gender fluid. Well, gender fluid isn't technically in there, but the G that stands for gays could double as gender fluid. Gender fluid is also, well, ideally semi-recognized under trans as well, but not all gender fluid people feel comfortable saying that they are trans, because that's, you know, if they identified as being trans, they would say they identify as being trans, not gender fluid. So there's a lot of thoughts and things that go into the plus. So they just kind of wanted to put something in there to include other things that may not be represented by a letter in their, you know, a letter or whatnot. So like I said, gender fluid, or say, well, there's asexuals, but there's a lot of different types of asexuals. I identify as asexual, transgender, and gender fluid, all of the above. So with that said, I believe that's why they've added in the plus, just to say like, hey, you know, it's, if you identify somewhere along these umbrellas or concepts in some way, we're not excluding you, so to speak. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps some people out there to understand at least what all of the letters stand for. That does not speak about anything about experience or what it's like. And even if I was to speak of my own experiences, I'm just one person. It doesn't mean that I necessarily represent, you know, all of the transgender community or something, you know, like, actually I feel quite opposite. I feel like I am not necessarily the best / right person, I don't feel, to be really speaking a whole lot about these things. But I do know what each of the letters stand for, so I can talk about that. Beyond that, I have my experiences, which I've had positive and negative experiences being transgender. There's a lot of complications and difficulties that I come across, like I don't feel comfortable in dressing rooms, you know. So, because I identify as a guy, but I'm not going to go into the men's dressing room, just as I'm not going to go into the men's bathroom either. You know. So, I'm not saying like that's just me. That is just me, where I'm at in my journey with being trans. I don't know exactly what the statistic is, but I do know that majority of people who identify as trans never get surgery done. I felt for the longest time, and I still kind of do, like, an imposter for some reason. I've had a really good therapist, and we've talked a lot about imposter syndrome. And again, I only know my experiences and how I feel. It's not to speak about anybody else's experiences or what they go through. For anybody else that experiences imposter syndrome, I strongly suggest looking it up or looking into other articles or things about that. But I've got imposter syndrome along with lots of other things going on. But anyway, so like I felt like I couldn't identify, like it wasn't quote unquote right for me to identify as trans if I'm never gonna get surgery done. So when I found out the statistic about how many trans people get surgery done versus not, I felt a lot more validated, if that makes sense. So yeah, so if you identify in any way as being lesbian, bisexual, gay, transgender, or even things like gender fluid, or something of that sort, where gender isn't always necessarily constant, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Since her sleeves will flip over, I'm gonna give the hand mitts to Cricket. So we're gonna, as you guys know how I love a good hand mitt, or these kind of things where the sleeves just flip over. So that's genius. Alright, so yeah, transgender, or in some way like the gender a person was born as that doesn't quite fit, like if that doesn't feel like it quite fits you, then I would say somewhere in there, you know, it would fall under the umbrella of transgender, even if it's not transgender. I hope I'm making sense to somebody out there. So yeah, I so cute. So yeah, transgender, and then LGBT. The queer. Now, queer is kind of weird. I grew up during a time when the term queer was very offensive. So it was, even amongst the LGBTQ, or LGBT at the time, was, as you know, the letters and the terms. I just think they're so cute, you guys. Look at this. I thought of this idea of putting them in these two outfits. I love Cricket in this outfit, and I was like, oh, I could take the other pieces and put it on this tiny little one, and then put the accessories on her, because you guys know how much I love this outfit on Cricket. I think this is the third time I put her in it. And then I was like, oh, I could put them in matching outfits, sort of, so they complement each other. I just think this is so cute together. But yeah, anyway, so, and then intersex, I would prefer you just to kind of look that one up to better understand what that term means. I have no experience with intersex, not that I identify with or aware of, at least not at this time. And then the A being asexual. Now, personally, I identify as, like, I am what they would call demi-asexual, which basically means that I have to have a very meaningful connecting relationship, like a deep connection with the person first before I'm going to experience any kind of attraction to that person. This has taken me a long time to figure out in my life. Like, I didn't always know this about myself. I just found this out probably in the last like 4 or 5 years. But if this helps somebody else out there, then awesome. I'm gonna give this one her passy. But yeah, so asexuals, there's a lot of people that are ace, and yeah, there's many different types of asexuality. I can't even list them all. I don't even know them all. There's so many. So, and then I did have rattles, but I don't think I could really fit them in. So I was gonna put these 2 rattles, like give one to each, but they look so snuggly just as is. I think I'll just let them be. Ah, they look so cute. I just love them. Alright, so name reveal, you guys. And before I do the name reveal, please do not put her name in the comments below. Please do not. Okay. So her name is Orchid. But she's named after the orchid mantis. So it's a type of bug because I wanted a name that complements cricket, but I also wanted a name that's pretty. And I was looking up, I've been doing some research and looking up different bugs and cute bugs or pretty bugs. And oh my gosh, the orchid mantis is so pretty, so beautiful, and so tiny. And I just thought that was perfect for this little tiny girl. So she's so little. She's even smaller than Storybrooke. She is. I think she's probably only about 14 or 14 inches or something. She's tiny. So yeah, yep. So her name is Orchid, but she's named after the orchid mantis, which is another bug. So there you guys have it, Cricket and Orchid, and to me they're sisters. They're sisters that came from the same nursery, Marie's Reborn Nursery over at reborns.com. Alright, thank you everyone. I will see you guys next time. Take care.